Hi everyone, welcome back. This is my second lecture, and in this lecture I'm going to talk to you about the main pillars of luxury brand management. And we are going to apply these pillars also to the luxury hospitality industry. So the real question, as the business of luxury is relatively recent, how or what makes luxury brands different from premium brands, or in the product industry from what we call FMCG brands, fast-moving consumer goods? What makes luxury brand management different? This is going to be the topic of this. The first pillar, and probably the most important, is the concept of DNA and codes. Let me explain. DNA and codes is more like a toolbox for marketing people and brand managers to enhance the uniqueness of their brand. Remember what we said in the first lecture. Luxury brands have some uniqueness. So what is critical for these brands is to enhance this uniqueness. And they can do that through a toolbox, which I will explicit for you, which is the concept of DNA and the concept of codes. Let's first start with the theory, and then we will look at different cases. The brand DNA and the brand codes are two different concepts, but the beauty of the system is they are closely connected. As you can see on that slide, the DNA is really about what the brand stands for. What are the brand's values? What is the brand concept? Anything that makes the brand unique. And very often for luxury brands to understand the DNA, it is essential to go back to the founders, to go back to the time when they lived, the place where they lived, to understand how they were able to develop this myth, this cultural innovation, as we discussed in the first lecture. And this is all that constitutes the DNA. So what is very important here is to understand that for a luxury brand, the DNA is really what comes from the brand itself. It is not something which is driven by customers' perception. And the most important, as we will see in the examples, if you really understand the concept of DNA, it's key for brand managers. DNA kind of dictates everything the brand will be doing in terms of product development, brand extension, communication, sponsoring, PR, advertising, choice of ambassadors, etc. Now, the brand codes, it's something very different. The brand codes, it's something easier actually to identify. The codes of a luxury brand, it's anything which is visual, starting with the logo, starting with the name of the brand. Going on, maybe a color. Think about the Tiffany blue box or the Cartier red box. An animal, a design, an iconic product, an element of aesthetic, anything that the brand can use visually to be recognized. However, the key and the most important concept here is that luxury brands have few codes, and they play regularly with these codes. To be recognized, to be consistent, they have in fact not so many codes. But these codes, if they are well chosen, they help consumers go back to the DNA. So in fact, we can say that the luxury brand's codes are the visual expression of the brand DNA. And they help consumers not only identify the brand visually through products, advertising, communication campaigns, store windows, but they also help the consumer understand what the brand stands for, what is the brand DNA, what is the brand unique point. And that will be much more specific when we will look at some examples.